There are sports commentators and there are sports commentators, but I tell you what, my guest here now is a guy immortalized. Cast your minds back to 1966, seconds to go, and you said the immortal words?
They think it's all over. It is now.
Brilliant, brilliant. England's World Cup. Fantastic. Kenneth Wolstenholme, lovely to see you here.
Nice to see you, Derek.
Now, you're normally on the golf course for Sparks, aren't you? I mean, that's your normal.
Yes, but I was dragged here. Well, not dragged here, but I play golf for Sparks. I'll be playing golf for them on Wednesday, but I thought I'd come racing for them on Bank Holiday Monday.
And I bet you wish you'd followed Bernard Cribbins's wife's tips, because apparently, Bernard, she's having a great day.
Well, she didn't do very well on the first race she backed, but she had the winner on the last race, which is not bad.
Yeah.
10-1,
Yeah.
Leicester Piggott.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, she must have had all of 2 and 6 on that one, so we're quids in, aren't we?
Listen, I remember you. You had a hit record. We're standing with a guy. But did it reach #1 in the chart?
No, it was in the top 10.
What was it called?
Well, I had 2, actually, Hole in the Ground and Right Said Fred.
Right Said Fred.
Yeah.
But another. Okay.
I can't do it now because it's copyright.
But
I can't sing it now.
we say...
I can't sing it now.
But Ken, you're champing a bit, Ken, because you had a note. Was it yours #1?
It came #1.
Yeah?
Yes, the England 1990 World Cup record.
Fantastic.
Yes.
#1?
It came to #1.
I'm furious. I'm standing here with a pop star.
There you are, that
You
one
are
of the
indeed.
all-time stars. Listen, you're doing the work on the Italian football on Channel 4 on Sunday.
Right, yes.
How's it going?
Marvellous. We're getting lots of viewers.
I know you
Yes, you see, we're keeping Channel 4 going so that you can carry on with this
are.
racing.
We keep Channel 4 going so you can get the football. And why don't you tell me you're going fishing tomorrow? That's your great
I'm
night.
fishing tomorrow, yes, apart from playing golf for Sparks and you know, supporting them as a vice pres. I'm actually having my first day's trout fishing tomorrow, first day this season, on the test, and I shall be there as soon as I can in the morning.
Yeah, but why don't you get rid of all this?
What, this? No, I'm saving this. There's a shave-a-thon going on for the Paula Gunman Leukemia Fund, and I'm actually growing this so I can have it shaved off later on.
That's
I'll
fantastic.
tell you what, if you shave that off, I'll sponsor you.
Now, you heard this, viewers,
Yes?
and if anybody else wants to sponsor me, please write to Kenneth Wolf, Kennel Fall.
Where does the money go, by the way? We're talking spell. Where does the money go?
It goes to medical research, aiding research for children.
That's good.
Crippling diseases.
And what about research for bookmakers? Any sort of tips in the next race, fellas?
Oh, you want a tip? Yeah, right. Go on, Ken. Now, you had Miss Haggis, didn't you, Ken?
Yes,
You
Miss
fancied
Haggis,
that.
I fancied it as it came round.
Well,
did.
I
Yeah,
think
under horse as well.
since I'm a fisherman, I must go for Neptune's Pet.
That's fancy.
Because that's water, isn't it? Is it
Yeah,
fancied?
it is fancied,
Well,
yeah.
you're fancied as well by a lot of people, I know this. But Neptune's
6
Pet...
to 1.
6
6 to 1,
I'll
yeah.
go for... I'll tell the wife.
6 to 1.
And what do I
Tell
get
the
about
wife.
Miss Haggis?
I think you can get any price you want about Miss Haggis. Could be a tasty bet, you never know. Listen, thanks, fellas, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you on Sunday. And
Good night.
thanks, matey. Nice to see you both.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
SP from Toaster, JC.
The 305 won by number 8, This Nettle Danger, 8 to 1. Second, number 11, Breltic, 12 to 1. And third, number 3, Batterstan, 7 to 1. Number 2, Smith 2 is the 11 to 4 favourite. Our runners, numbers 4 and 5, and 12 round. Ludlow, the 305, won by number 1, Fluidity, 7 to 4 favourite. Second, number 6, Offit, 6 to 1. And third, number 15, Ruth's Bride, 16 to 1. On runner 3, 19 round.
So here we go with the big race of the day, the Sparks Jubilee Handicap, £25,000 race over a mile. Just confirming that jockey change. David Harrison takes over from the ill John Reed on Neptune's Pet. And watch out here for the former Lincoln winner High-Low, has been working very well on the Newmarket Gallops. Plenty of possibles. Let's get the 13 runners named by GG.
And the top weight, also a Newmarket horse, Tapis Rouge, ridden by Michael Roberts. There he goes. Number 2, Dawning Street by Pat Etheridge, drawn 13. 3, Pay Homage at 9, Leicester Piggott. 4, Royal Seaton at 8, Simon Whitworth. 5, Adjudem at 10, Paul Leddery. Number 6, Miss Haggis at 12, Willie Ryan. 7, Neptune's Pet at 3. David Harrison now rides, and he claims at 3. Number 8 is Cool Luke at 5, Billy Nunes. Number 9, High Low. Drawn 1, Jim Quinn. 10, Ford Sodlight at 11, Ray Cochran. 11, Will Sonic at 7, Richard Quinn. Number 12, Highland Magic at 4, Chris Rutter. And completing the lineup, 2 pounds overweight for Brett Doyle. He rides number 13, Chatham Island, and they're drawn 2.
Dawning Street, the 9 to 2 favourite. High-Low, 11 to 2 and 5 to 1. And Neptune's Bet at 6 to 1. Cool Luke on 7s, Port Sunlight an 8 to 1 chance. Highland Magic and Royal Seaton both at 10s, 14 to 1 bar.
Well, there is high-low, and both John and I must say, felt that he was walking round the paddock very stiff behind indeed.
Yeah, it didn't look comfortable on his off hind. He's, as you can see there, he's didn't look all that happy.
But they know him a lot better than us.
And also, we watched him go out, and he looked as though he'd warmed up a bit, but certainly for 2 or 3 minutes, he definitely didn't look comfortable. Anyway, he's on his way to the post. Looks okay there. That's Jimmy Quinn, leading jockey at the moment.
And High-Low is notoriously best first time out. He won the Lincoln last year, and but we'll go on with Will Sonic. Will be one of the outsiders. He, in fact, fractured his cannon bone I beg your pardon. She fractured her cannon bone last year, Will Sonic. So that although she has had one run behind Leigh the Lucky at Carlisle, it'd be a bit of a miracle if she can come back far enough to win this.
Yeah, she's run some decent races. She was second to quite a useful filly of Barry Hills in Soiree up there. And providing she's improved from that last run behind Leigh the Lucky, and she'd have to because he's been beaten since, then she'd have some sort of chance of finishing in the places. Certainly Mark Johnson wouldn't have sent her down if he didn't think she had a chance of doing herself justice. There's Dawning Street. He's definitely got a chance. Pat Edry taking the mount on this thatching colt of John Dunlop's. He's run twice in each of the last 2 seasons, run nowhere first time, and then one he actually finished in front of Young Buster as a 2-year-old, and he had his first run of this season at Newbury when quite a few of these others were also making their debuts.
Yes, he's one of the 6 who ran behind the Queen's Tissizat at Newbury. They finished in the order Royal Seaton, Neptune's Pet, Port Sunlight, Dawning Street, Pay Homage and Highland Magic. But that was Dawning Street's first race. And as John said, he generally comes on for his first run, and this might well just put him right. Royal Seaton, as I say, came out best of those, and Highland Magic worse. That is Royal Seaton and Highland Magic there. Royal Seaton in the spots. He was third to Tissizat, ran really well, didn't get an altogether clear run at Newbury that day, and finished better than anything bar the winner, Tissizat.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one not to get the best of runs. Neptune's Pet, the gap came quite late for him, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not the support that Dawning Street has been collecting proves worthwhile. Simon Whitworth.
Cool Luke's come down from the north, John. He would have a squeak. I think we've already mentioned some form of Leigh the Lucky's, and Cool Luke ran second to Leigh the Lucky at Pontefract in his first and only run this season. And if that's brought him on, could easily put him in with a chance.
Yeah, he had Pay Homage behind him on that occasion at Pontefract. That was over a stiff mile there. And he's got decent form, Leigh the Lucky. Won at Newcastle and Haydock last year. Probably was a little bit more cut in the ground, I'd imagine. Anyway, let's have a look at the betting.
Dawning Street, the 9-2 favourite. High-Low is 11-2 from 5-1. Neptune's Pet steady on 6s, and Cool Luke at 7-1. And now High-Low has just gone to 6-1. High-Low now the 6-1 second favourite, opened at 5s. Resuming the show, Port Sunlight on 8s, Highland Magic at 10s, Royal Seaton 12-1 from 10-1, Pay Homage at 14s along with Tapis Rouge and Will Sonic, and 16-1 bar.
It's your last chance to have a go at Dial a Duo. It could win you £100. All you've got to do is pick 2 horses that you think will finish in the first 3 in this race. So dial quickly, 0891 400 004.
Well, there's no doubt who the star on the racecourse is today. That's Johnny the Fish. He's been signing scores of autographs. But first of all, Johnny, who are you fancying in this race here, the Jubilee?
I fancy number 1 each way.
Tapis Rouge, 14 to 1 chance. But no, that's £330,000 going on it.
No.
Now, what's this bet you've got running up Zaphonic onto 10B? How much have you got there?
5,000.
Like 5-2 Zaphonic and 8-1 10B for the Ever Ready Derby.
Yeah.
wins you £157,000, £157,500, pays his tax on. Now, how confident are you with 10B?
I'm confident in the moment, you know.
Oh, so you're liable to waver, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Anyway, you saw it when a Newmarket on Channel 4.
Yeah,
So
I was pleased.
You were pleased, I bet you were.
Yeah.
And you were even more pleased with Sagebrush and Zavonic.
Oh, yes.
Terrific man.
Yeah.
Great star this, a real cracking punter. What we'd all like to do, have a really big touch at the expense of the bookmakers. Looking at this race here, the Jubilee, only 2 favourites in 14 running have won it over a mile. Dawning Street put in at 9-2. It's now 6-1 bar. That's Neptune's Pet and High Low are 6-1 chances, and it's 8-1 bar the 3 for Tapis Rouge. That's the one for Johnny the Fish.
Neptune's Pet there walking round with David Harrison, deputising for John Reed, who's in bed with flu. This horse went through a purple patch last year, notched up treble midway through the season, then won again at Sandown. Was unlucky, I thought, at Newbury last time out in Royal Seaton's race, and didn't run a bad race here behind Little Roussillon. He'd be much better for those first 2 runs, and I think he's got a decent chance. One who looked really well was Port Sunlight. Richard Hannon won winner already this afternoon, and Port Sunlight only ran 3 times last year. Hasn't run exactly until May last season, until making his debut again behind Royal Seaton. As you can see, looks in really good nick.
He was just in the middle of those behind Tissie's at Newbury. But let's look at Jimmy the Fish's selection. Tapis Rouge, there he is in Sheikh Mohammed's colours. Number 1 there. He's quite used to carrying big weights. He carried 10 stone when Caspian Turn beat him at Leicester in his last race last season. And Tapis Rouge had won first at Newbury and then at Nottingham and Lingfield before that.
Yeah, he could easily win with top weight of 9 stone 13, this horse. He was second in the Lingfield Derby trial last year and finished behind decent horse Zinad of Michael Stout's on one other occasion. Decent horse.
I've got Maureen Haggis with me, wife of the trainer of High Low. Maureen, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Now, what about, could it be a birthday treat for you? The horse has been working well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, he's been working well. He runs best fresh. We had him ready for the Lincoln, but the ground was too firm. He's had a bit of ringworm since, so that knocked him back. But he's done a couple of nice bits of work with Barathea, which is encouraging. But it doesn't always work out on the race course the way it goes at home, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Well, if he's been working with Barathea, it could be interesting. Thanks, Maureen. Have a good birthday.
Thank
Let's
you.
go back to the start.
Well, he was walking definitely a little bit skew-if going around there then, but Tomo had asked Maureen prior to the interview whether he was always like that, and apparently is. So if you backed him, you can no need to worry about him taking the odd lame step.
There's Leicester on Pay Homage, about to go in. Hasn't really found his form yet this season. 5-1 Dawning Street, 6 is High Low and Neptune's Pet, 15-2 bar those 3.
Under orders and they break away, and the pace could come from Tapis Rouge, but early on it's High Low from stall 1, out of the stalls like lightning, and already attacking over the stands rails. So it's High Low getting the rail run from Chatham Island out wide in second. Tapis Rouge is prominent, then Dawning Street with the white cap, the grey is Adjugem. These are followed through by Miss Haggis, and with that one is Will Sonic. At the back early on, Highland Magic and also Port Sunlight. But it's High Low really smartly into his stride. High Low leading, High Low by about a half. High Low leading from Tapis Rouge in second place, and then in third is Dawning Street on the outside, Chatham Island, followed by the grey, which is Adjugem, and the striped colours of Cool Luke, Miss Haggis in the green quartered cap, Will Sonic the red sleeves, and these are followed by Leicester on Pay Homage and Neptune's Pet. Spotting colours is Royal Seaton, still the back two, Highland Magic and also Port Sunlight. But it's just a High Low leading as they come down past the 3. High Low from Tapis Rouge the outside, and then Dawning Street really railing well. Miss Haggis picking up off the back. Chatham Islands coming with a run. Cool Luke is being ridden along too, and they come down past the 2, and the top weight sent about his business goes on now. There's Tapis Rouge and Michael Roberts. The white cap of Dawning Street is coming with a challenge. Then behind these, Miss Haggis with a big run. Chatham Island, Will Sonic, Neptune's Pet starts to pick up. Going to be a blanket finish here. Tapis Rouge, Pay Homage and Leicester coming with a run. Red Cap Highland Magic is coming there too. And on the outside, it's going to be Highland Magic with Leicester and Pay Homage steering. Pay Homage is the winner, Highland Magic second, and then in third is Dawning Street, Tapis Rouge 4, followed by Neptune's Pet. Then came Royal Seaton, followed home by Port Sunlight, and then behind Port Sunlight was High Low, Chatham Island, Miss Haggis, Adgem, Will Sonic, and the back marker was Cool Luke. And so the result then of this, the 340 here at Kempton Park, the Sparks Jubilee handicap, a double for Lester Piggott on the big day, for he rode the winner, number 3, Pay Homage, in the colours of Mrs. A.V. Hill. This one trained at Kingsclear by Ian Boulding, and the big race double for Leicester on Jubilee Day. There he is in the yellow cap, covered this horse up for a late run, and he certainly got it on this Primo Domini horse of Ian Boulding's, coming there strongly indeed. Second horse home, why, that's number 12, Highland Magic, the red cap on the outside. Chris Rudder got a great one out of that one. And the third horse home is the second top weight, according to the judge here, number 2, Dawning Street and Pat Henry. That's the 1, 2, 3 then. On this, the Sparks Jubilee handicap, Leicester, another big race winner.
Well, surely some of the holiday punters must have had mixed doubles. Lester Piggott today, and at least one really profitable double has come up. At this stage, it still looked quite possible that Jimmy the Fish might be on the winner, because Tapis Rouge is just coming to challenge High Low. High Low has made the running as is his habit, but he can't hold Tapis Rouge. The top weight goes by him. Dawning Street's in third place, and Leicester at this stage is still playing a waiting game, but just what a game it is.
Yeah, there was always a doubt about the trip being a little bit on the short side for Tapis Rouge. Michael Roberts made plenty of use of him. Big race double for Lester Piggott, and also for Ian Boulding, because he won the Swindon Hurdle this afternoon with spinning, but the gaps come just right for Pay Homage, and Leicester nicks up in between High Low and Dawning Street. Just look out on the right of the picture, Neptune's Pet. That one's coming through quite nicely in the end. Miss Haggis has run well, but it's Chris Rutter who throws down the challenge, latest of all on Highland Magic. But wasn't quite good enough. This horse of Ian Boulding's and Leicester, they've just won with a little bit up their sleeve in the end, doing all their best work at the post.
And Pay Homage and Lester Piggott nibbled out in the market. One or two firms did lay 20 to 1 and 100 to 6. 16 to 1 against it, returned 12 to 1, Pay Homage. The second, Highland Magic, was a 10 to 1 chance. And the third, Dawning Street, was sent off the 5 to 1 favourite. And all those three, of course, ran in the Newbury Spring Cup, but not in that order. Pay Homage actually finished 12th at Newbury. And for Lester Piggott, that's his third Jubilee. He won it on St Ninian 2 years ago, a right seamer that was, and over 10 furlongs, he won it on Lord Helpers in 1977. And after Broxton Dance in the 310, that's 142 to 1 double for the Maestro Lester Piggott. He's our guest on the morning line on Saturday. In East Springs on Monday. He's recovered from that. 142 to 1 double. And his third Jubilee.
First, number 3, Pay Homage at 12 to 1. Second, number 12, Highland Magic, 10 to 1. And third, number 2, Dawning Street, the 5 to 1 favourite. The toe paid £15.60 for the win. The place is £4 exactly, 3.70 and 2.60. And the dual forecast came to £88.90 and 13 rides. At Haydock, the 3.30 was won by number 1, Golden Isle, 92. Second, number 5, Cochin, 100 to 30. And third, number 2, Farley Story, the 9 to 4 on favourite. Non-runners, 3 and 4 and 3 rounds. And at Exeter, the 3 o'clock went to number 4, Emirates, 5 to 2 favourite. Second, number 2, Aldington Bell, 6 to 1. And third, number 9, Daring Class, 25 to 1, 13 rounds. On 12, the 3.30, 1, St Nathan's Lad, 11 to 8 on favourite. 3, Mr Feathers, 5 to 1. And 2, Love and You at 9 to 4, 3 rounds. Southall, the 3 o'clock, first, number 3, Pink Gin, 11 to 4. Second number 1, Hard to Match, 7-1. And third number 2, Flying Ziad, 10-1. Number 4, the red one, was the 5-4 odd favourite, 8 rounds.
Well, I've now been joined by the winning owner. She was wondering, do I have to curtsy when I get to present the prize? Yes, you do, Audrey. That was smashing that. What was that like watching?
Absolute fun, real fun. I'm so excited, and of course the jockey as well. He hasn't ridden for me before, so it really is exciting.
How special a thrill is it to have Lester on board when he comes in the paddock beforehand and everything?
Well, all my jockeys are nice jockeys, but you know, Lester is something different, and I never imagined he would be riding for me, so it is a great thrill.
Terrific, and 12-1. Now, I know you're not a betting lady, or are you?
Not really, no. Not in great amounts, anyway.
Yes, but you did have a little each way,
Just
12-1.
just a little each way,
Yeah.
yes.
Tell us, how did you get the horse, Pay Homage?
Well, Ian bought him for me at the October sales as a yearling, and I've had him since then. And I've had a great lot of fun with him, as you can well imagine.
Yes. And do you take an active interest? How often do you go down to the stables and see the horse and everything?
Well, in the winter, I like to go once a month, otherwise you're losing track. Obviously, when he's running, I'm seeing him then.
Yeah.
So I get to see him. And, of course, he does run quite regularly, fortunately.
No, he's a smashing horse. Have you got any other horses with Ian or anybody?
I've got a quarter share in a filly, a sophisticated heir, and we hope she'll be out at the end of the week.
And what's the attraction of racing for you?
Well, I've always liked horses. As a child, I liked ponies, and I was able to ride, fortunately. And it's gone on from there. And it's what I live for, really.
Oh, well, I'm so pleased. It's lovely to see you, and it's nice to talk to you on Channel 4.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Well, we've got Princess Michael behind us because we do have a royal presentation. She is the patron, the president of Sparks, and she is here. A great racing lady in her own right. She had a horse that she shared with Robert Sangster a couple of years ago that turned out to be quite a decent filly that was running at Chester. I remember we talked to her on Channel 4, and her husband there in the background, Prince Michael, and there she is. She has curtsied. She was wondering, and yes, she has, and probably telling her all about that. I don't bet, but I did have a little each way, and Princess Michael, a great horsewoman in her own right. She tries to get out and ride whenever she can, and nice to see her here. We'll show that presentation to you, with that lovely picture, right after the break.
Touch it, and you're tempted.
Please help her operator, get a Janet Fraser, please. She wants to wear the best clothes when she's walking down the street.
Get the book, achieve the look. Go for the phone. Phone free on 0800 88 0088.
And now she's got the number. She's just going for the phone.
Janet Fraser.
Go on, get that new dress, child.
Bupa now has a health scheme for almost everybody. From only £9 a month. Doesn't your body deserve it? Phone free now. 0800 600 500.
One, wabbit, one. Here comes the farmer with his gun. Bang, 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 bang goes the farmer's gun. So one, wabbit, one. Hey, what's up, Don?
Whoa,
The wabbit's got Weetabix. Run, farmer, quick, quick, quick. Here comes the wabbit with the Weetabix. Yum, 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 now I'll stop your tricks. So run, farmer, quick, quick, quick.
Have you had your Weetabix?
I love entertaining, but I hate the ghastly aftermath, even with the dishwasher. First, the dirties, like this stuck-on egg. No, don't look, it's too awful. Then the delicates. Well, you can't trust conventional powders not to harm fine china, can you? Thank heavens for new fairy. For the dishwasher, it's great at cleaning, naturally, so it even gets rid of sticky egg. And like fairy, it's kind, so I can trust it with my delicate dishes as well. Unlike conventional powders, which can fade them. See? Beautifully clean. And my delicate dishes are in safe hands. New dishwasher fairy takes care of the dirty and the delicate.
If you don't claim on your car insurance, you get a no-claims discount. At TSB, it's the same with your home. Home insurance with a no-claims discount. Phone for a quote. Because we want you to say yes.
The 50s are back with Head Over Heels. 22 rock and roll classics. Get Head Over Heels now.
Just fit, just perfect. Cape grapes from the Cape of good quality.
Welcome back to Kempton. Now the royal presentation. Let's join Philip Brannan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Her Royal Highness Princess Michael of Kent, the royal patron of Sparks, has graciously consented to present the trophy for Sparks Jubilee Handicap. Here to receive the trophy, may we please have your applause, please, for Miss Audrey Hill.
A result from Doncaster, the 320, won by number 3 Amron, 11-2. Second, number 7 Nile Delta, 5-1. And third, number 9 Protonic at 8-1. Number 4 Sagebrush Roller and number 8 Coolaba Prince were the 92 joint favourites. Non-runners, numbers 1 and 11, and 9 ran. And at Warwick, the 315 went to number 10 Top One, 12-1. Second, number 5 Highborn, 25-1. And third, number 8 Sally's Son at 8-1. Number 7, Leigh Crofter, number 9, Slades Hill, and number 12, Breeze Away, with the 92 co-favourites and 19 ran.
Well, Stephanic's win in the 2,000 guineas has drastically affected the Derby market, and Tenby is now a very short price favourite for the ever-ready Derby. Ladbrokes are going 5-2, is top of the head 9-4 with William Hill. Then Khalid Abdullah, you would have thought now is second string commander-in-chief, is top price 7-1 commander-in-chief, with Armiger, who runs at Chester tomorrow, and 8-1 chance. But they seem to think they're more likely to go to France, to Chantilly for the French Derby at Armiger. Is then 12-1 bar the 3, and that brings in Barathea, who really was that head-on shot with Stephanic in the 2,000 guineas. So brave, Barathea. He looked out of his feet, didn't he? Trying to get back at the French Derby. He's 12-1 for the ever-ready Derby. 14-1 against John Gosden's Teos. 16-1 Bin Ajwad, who was third in the Guineas and came from nowhere to get third, not having nearly such a hard race as Barathea had. And give you an early show here. It's 3-1 number 7 DRAMANIGE, 5-1 the top one Ashman, 4-1 Her Majesty's Prerogative near the bottom, with 7-1 Nathan Shirar and 8-1 Gontropo. There is certainly a bit of money. Glen Echo is 7-1 number 9. Watch that in the race.
Well, in a short while, the Channel 4 team will be all jumping in our cars and heading up north to cover 3 glorious days at the Chester May meeting. I hope you'll join us for that tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. But now, before the next race, let's take a chance to check out on what's been happening here at Kempton on this Bank Holiday Monday. This was Pay Homage dismounting after making a winning reappearance in the Jubilee. Leicester's win later. Now the other finishes.
We've got just over a furlong and a half to go, and it's Alaskan Princess, the rails pressed by Anasani the outside, and as they race inside the final furlong, it's Anasani just come to take Alaskan Princess off the pace, top half band, finishing like a rocket, and Dick Crowley is not that far away either, but up towards the line, Anasani's going to take it. Anasani at top half band, boy, that's close. Alaskan Princess was third. Now the favourite, Long Silence, comes to take it as they go past the two. Long Silence in the green jacket. Paul Edery goes 2 or 3 clear now of the long-time leader, Balladeer. Dershan under hard pressure, the rail for Pat. They've still got just over a furlong to go, and Long Silence has it, but Dershan is in pursuit now and coming inside the final furlong. It's Dershan coming to press Long Silence. The brothers Edery duel. Long Silence the rail, and Dershan in second place, and Long Silence takes it. Here comes Brockton Dancer, Leicester in the orange sleeve jacket on the outside. Magic Point behind that one. They come down to the final furlong. And Yark in the rail and Brockton Dancer. Two Can Do has to be pulled wide. Prime of the Century picks up. Red colours really flying inside the final furlong. It's Golden Guess with Brockton Dancer and Two Can Do. We're going to fight at the finish. Brockton Dancer and Two Can Do.
And a rundown on today's winners at Kempton. The 210 went to number 3, Anasati, 130 favourite. The 240 to number 6, Long Silence, 5 to 4 on favourite. The 310 was won by number 5, Brockton Dancer at 10 to 1. And the 340 by number 3, Pay Homage at 12 to 1.
Now then, I've been saying for a long time that race courses ought to do more to attract customers, have a little bit more for them to look at, and certainly Kempton is to be congratulated. They got 10% increase this afternoon. They put on an amazing show, got 10,000 punters turned up, and most of them have been across the course to look at this really good classic car collection. With me now, we've got Colin and Andy. And what do you actually do? You run the Sporting Bears Motor Club, but what does it actually do?
Well, the Sporting Bears Motor Club is just a motor club of classic cars and sports cars. And we get together, we enjoy ourselves, but more important, we raise money for children's charities.
And what just explain to me, what's the difference between a classic car and a vintage car?
Well, a classic car nowadays is normally said to be 20 years or more old. The veteran cars are pre-19, and then I have to be careful, 1911, I think, and the vintage cars are, generally speaking, pre-war.
Well, you've got some smashing models here. Just let's have a look. This is an old Aston Martin. Hang on, let's find it. Where's Roger? Roger, this is yours. You're actually racing this yesterday, weren't you?
That's right. This was at Brands Hatch yesterday. We were tearing around in it.
And how long have you had it?
Just over 4.5 years.
And I mean, one thing that's always fascinated me about these old cars, what happens if something goes wrong? You want a new radiator or what have you? Do you have to have it handmade, or how do you go about it?
You'd have to have something like a radiator handmade, but a lot of the mechanical parts are available. They're not available as new. They have been remade over the years. So it's really not too difficult. In fact, it's probably easier than some of the more modern classic cars.
And it's actually got a history, this car, hasn't it?
This ran in the 1931 Ulster Grand Prix. It's always been used in competition. I've used it for the Mille Miglia 3 times, the Nürburgring for the Eiffel Classic. So we keep on keeping it going.
And do you actually use it? I mean, could you sort of go down the shops in it and use it sort of every day?
I could do, but it probably wouldn't be very advisable. The steering lock's awful, and there's no weather protection at all.
And you've got no protection anyway, somebody nicked your radio?
They didn't actually have those in 1930. You just listen to the engine.
Right, thanks very much. Right, let's move along, because it's got over 100 cars. You've got some smashing examples. And Charlie, this is a Morgan. How long have you had this one?
I bought it in 1976 in a rather dilapidated condition, and since then it's been completely rebuilt.
And how about its origin? I mean, when was this actually made, first of all?
1951, and the first registered owner was a well-known character in the motor sport field, the editor of the magazine Motorsport, Bill Bodie, who is now the founder member of the Brooklyn Society.
And is it something, I mean, is it a hobby of yours? Have you done the thing up yourself? Have you got other people to do it?
No, I've partly done it. The paintwork, which was out of my depth, I got professionally done, but the engine and most of the others, I had the engine breathed on, I must admit, by an expert, basically because I wanted it spot on. But other than that, I've just maintained it, and it's the third Morgan I've had. When I retired from full-time work, I thought I've got to get myself another Moggy, and I managed to find this one up in Durham. It was pretty groggy. It took me 12 hours to get from Durham to Guildford, and it had 5 gallons of water on the passenger seat, and it used 7 pints of oil, so it gives you some idea of what she was like with her first car. But she's a very nice motor car. She's won 7 major awards at Prescott with the Bugatti Club and the Morgan Club, so it's quite a nice, pleasant motor car to drive.
Smashing, right. Let's have a look, because this is a real car for pulling the birds in. This is a Triumph, was it Triumph TF?
No, it's actually an MG TF, this one.
Shows how much I know about cars. Looks like a Triumph, looks like the other one.
It's an MG TF 1250cc. They made them in 1250 and 1500 size. They made about slightly over 6,000 of them. This is 1954. And they exported about 4,000 of that 6,000. So they're only ever about 2,000 to 2,500 in this country in the first place. Now, I don't know how many there are left now, but there are not too many of these around still.
Now, I was surprised because we were looking at this beforehand, and I was saying that I thought this was absolutely tip-top condition. You were saying it's got a couple of little cracks on it.
Well, they occasionally get little cracks in the paintwork, which come from time to time. You often see them along here at the front of the body line, but nothing too major, nothing too much of a problem. I try and keep it in reasonable condition, but I don't try and keep it in such condition that I feel afraid to take it out on the roads. A car like this is for enjoying.
And do you drive it sort of most weeks?
No, I don't drive it most weeks. I maybe drive it once every 2 or 3 weeks. And I generally try and pick nicer weather conditions to go driving in, obviously. But when the sun's shining and the roof's down, there's nothing to beat it. It's wonderful.
Well, it looks a lot cleaner than mine. Thanks very much. Right, now this is one car you've got to look at, because I know this is a Triumph Roadster. Let's have a, because this is the one that Bergerac used to use. And just talk us around this back here, Barry, because this is a little bit special, this car.
Yeah, this is the,
let's just bring the cameras around. Can we come around and have a look just in the back here? Ideal for a couple of kids that I know.
That's right, just a dicky seat for the... well, they call them dicky seats, you know, for the young children to sit in the back. That's about all. But I've only just finished, done a rebuild on this.
How long's that taken?
This one's taken me 3 years. This is my 3rd one I've done.
And what sort of condition? I mean, you say you've done a rebuild.
Yeah.
What was it like when you got it?
Oh, it was a scrapper, yeah. They were really bad. Plenty of rust on it.
And I was just talking to the person who owned the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
How do you go about getting spares and things? I mean, are there still people about that can actually make the body panels for you?
Not on this one, but the club is getting better for getting spares now. But as soon as we can find that one scrap in one of these cars, and then we all jump on it and pinch the stuff quick, you know.
But say, for instance, you bought one of these to do up and you wanted a back wing for it. I mean, would you have to get somebody to panel beat one out for you?
Yes, that's right. You've got to go and find a specialist to do something like that. But it's all alley, and the front wings are steel. There's steel wings on the front there. But this one wasn't too bad, really.
And what's a car like this worth?
Oh, it's round about 20,000, yeah.
Like 20,000, how about the insurance on it?
The insurance is, this one is about £200 to insure it, yeah.
Great.
It's not bad.
Thanks very much. Okay. Thanks very much indeed. Well, quite a few winners here, and they've been having a few winners at Exeter.
Starting with the 330, won by number 1 On the Soar, 7-4 favourite. Second, number 6, Ming Blue at 16-1. And third, number 7, Qualiter Idol, 33-1, 7 rounds. At Doncaster, the 355 went to number 8, Martina, 7-1. Second, number 4, Sataska, 14-1. And third, number 2, Another Episode, 11-4. Number 5, Metal Boys, was 9-4 favourite and 8 rounds. And at Newcastle, the 354, Much Sought After, 4-1. 3, True Bend, 13-2. And 8, First Bid at 8-1. Number 7, Sunderland Echo, was 9-4 favourite, 8 rounds. At Warwick, the 345, first number 3, Halston Brook, 7-4 joint favourite. Second, number 2, Warm Spell, 4-1. And third, number 6, Paper Days at 8-1. Number 1, Musahim, was the other joint favourite and 8 rounds.
And the Queen's gelding there, Prerogative in shot, the 9-2 second favourite. Prerogative is the 9-2 second favourite. I don't pass on tickle tackle, as you know, but Lord Carnarvon, the Queen's racing manager, has just appeared in the ring and gone up to the rails. Now, what his business is, nothing to do with me or to do with you. Considering Lord Carnarvon is here in the ring, and Prerogative is a 9-2 chance. They're backing DRAMANIGE to go a treble for Leicester Piggott into 5-2 from 3-1, 9-2 Prerogative, and 6-1 Ashman. But what was Lord Carnarvon doing in the betting ring? He's the Queen's racing manager. Prerogative.
Well, that's a very personal thing, that. Anyway, they're down at the start, as you can see, and less than Pat's on board Prerogative here. There's one Derby entry in this, number 1, Ajman, and the jockey change, Steve Raymond takes over from the ill John Reed on Darecliff. There's plenty of possibles here. Let's have them named by GG.
Could turn out to be quite a fascinating race. It's number 1, Ajman at 11, Michael Roberts, 2, Belfry Green at 17, Tony Clark, 3, Brave Hero at 14, Darren Biggs, and number 4 is Calibrated 15, Billy Noon. 5, Complete Madness at 3, Richard Hills, 6, Darecliff, drawn 2, ridden by Steve Raymond. Number 7 is DRAMANIGE, drawn 7, Leicester Piggott, 8, Fashionable Dancer at 5, Brett Doyle, 9, Glen Echo at 1, Richard Quinn, and number 10, Gone Troppo at 4, Willie Ryan. Number 11, Hard 8 at 16, Simon Whitworth, 12, Hills Down Boy, Vised at 6, Chris Rutter, 13, Imperial Tokai at 13, David Harrison claims at 3, 14, Jura Forest at 8, Paul Edery, number 15, Livonian at 12, John Williams, 16, Nafe at 18, Ray Cochran, 17, Prerogative at 9, ridden by Pat Edery, and completing the lineup, number 18 is Sherrard, drawn 10, ridden by Nigel Day. And they're at the start. Let's check the full list.
And DRAMANIGE, the 5-2 favourite, opened at 3-1. Prerogative 9-2 from 4s, and Ajman a 6-1 chance, opened at 5s. Naif is 8-1 from 7-1, and Glen Echo steady on the 8-1 mark. Sherrard is 10-1, opened at 7s, and Darecliff also on the 10-1 spot, along with Gone Troppo. Complete Madness 14-1 from 12s, and they go 16-1 bar those.
Well, DRAMANIGE is favourite in the betting. You see him just behind the stalls there. He ran a really good race recently in the Granby Maiden Stakes at Newmarket. It was won for Sheikh Mohammed by Lower Egypt, but as we joined them, DRAMANIGE was just about in front as they came into the last furlong at Newmarket. That is Glen Echo over on the far rails, but DRAMANIGE coming through to take the lead. Almost immediately he'll be challenged by Lower Egypt. No, Lower Egypt, as a matter of fact, is coming from off the pace. He's only third there. Here he comes to take it off Autumnis and DRAMANIGE. But as you saw, that was a pretty good trial by DRAMANIGE. Yeah, Prerogative, there's no surprise to find him in the betting because he ran really well against Planetary Aspect, the horse who gave Kenby such a hard race at Newmarket. Prerogative finished less than 6 lengths behind Planetary Aspect. Peter Chapelheim thinks an awful lot of that colt, and of course Tenby paid him a pretty good compliment at Newmarket. So Prerogative, perfectly possible winner. Ajman is the one who's in the Derby. Ajman, ridden by Michael Roberts, drawn 11, not in the, yes, he is in the stalls, in the yellow colours with black epaulets. And others with a chance would be Complete Madness. He ran pretty promisingly last year.
Quite a tactical race, this, John.
Could easily be.
Because DRAMANIGE, who we've just seen running at Newmarket, is a horse who must hit the front not until the last possible moment. And Frankie Dettori rode him at Newmarket, was tracking Henry Cecil's horse, Big Blue, who won on Saturday. And that horse dropped out much quicker than anticipated. Anyway, you'll see Leicester coming late on DRAMANIGE. He's 11-4, Prerogative 5-1. 6 is Ajman, and Naif, we won't call him now, is 7-1.
Just waiting for Gone Troppo to gone into stall 4. And that'll be the lineup for this classic car's maiden stake. The trip is a mile. DRAMANIGE coming from stall 7, just misses the kick, but we expected that. Prerogative is racing prominently. Also Sherrar in the green and white colours. Yellow colours, Ajman is up prominent, and through on the rails is named. Just pushed along a little bit early on is Brave Hero. Nearer last and first, Imperial Tokai. But it's Ajman leading now from Prerogative in second. And then Belfry Green in yellow and green colours with DRAMANIGE. Out wide of these is Glen Echo, not that far off the pace is Fashionable Dancer. Naif is running the rail and in mid-division. Hard 8 the back marker. But it's Ajman leading. Ajman from Prerogative, and then Fashionable Dancer in blue. Belfry Green with Out Wide, Darecliff and DRAMANIGE. Then the green sleeves of Sherrar, followed by Complete Madness. Naif the rail in blue. Glen Echo the purple cap. Striped sleeves Jura Forest. Sangster jacket Imperial Tokai. Gontropo in stars. Pink and black calibrate. The Shakes colours is Livonian, and they're only one behind that, and that's Hard 8. They come down past the 3, and they're running about a bit. Fashionable Dancer in blue, and Ajman really railing well. Prerogative is going with it. DRAMANIGE is just in behind them. Belfry Green's there with a chance. Darecliff out wide in the yellow sleeves with a run. Also coming to the run, Glen Echo. They flash past the 2, and it's Leicester and DRAMANIGE now who's come through to take it up. A furlong and a half to go. And it's DRAMANIGE quickening up and going on by a length or so off the pace. Sherrar with a run. And it's Leicester's going to be a hat-trick here because it's clear on DRAMANIGE by about 3 or 4 lengths off the pace. Gontropo finishing well, but at the line, DRAMANIGE is the winner. Gontropo is second, with the third place going to Darecliff. And then behind these came Glen Echo, and behind Glen Echo was Sherrar, and the field trailed back to Hard 8, who beat one in the end, and that one was Brave Hero. And so Leicester has won the race on horse number 7, DRAMANIGE, in the colours of Mr. W.S. Farish III, the 11-4 favourite. This one trained by Julie Cecil, so a double for her this afternoon, and of course a hat-trick for Leicester Piggott. And what a superb race he's ridden on this Northern Fling horse, American bred. DRAMANIGE came there poised on the heels of the leaders, quickened the tempo with a furlong and a half to go, raised the game again inside the final furlong, and Leicester home and hosed on this winner. Second one home, that's number 10, Gontropo. That finished through the pack nicely, moved well to post for trainer Henry Cecil, and the third placed horse was Darecliff, on whom Steve Raymond deputised for John Reed in the yellow sleeve jacket on the rail. Not that far off the pace is Glen Echo.
What a lovely way to spend the afternoon in the 58th year of your life. Not bad for an old man or an oldish man. As you said, John, Leicester's held up DRAMANIGE, tucked him in until the last furlong, but a lovely gap comes for him inside the Queen's Prerogative, who's disputing the lead with Ajman. There's the gap. Leicester takes it, and that's that.
Yeah, I think he was probably planning to hold this horse up for a little bit longer, but he found himself going so well. The split came between Prerogative and Ajman that he took it, and then he really made this horse's mind up. He put his seaman through, seaman a second, just put his whip out, give this horse a crack behind the saddle. He wasn't going to sit on him and just let him idle in front. Really sent him about his business, put the race beyond doubt in a matter of strides, and it was left to Sherrar chasing them home. Gontropo second, Darecliff third.
And DRAMANIGE has returned the 11-4 favourite and completes the treble for Leicester Piggott after Broxton Dancer at 10-1 and Pay Homage a 12-1 chance. The second, Gontropo, sent off at 8-1. And the third, Darecliff, 10-1. And the applause more going out for Leicester than for DRAMANIGE. A really popular winner and a treble, bank holiday treble here at Kempton for Leicester Piggott. It's just like the good old days. Racing goes on and on forever with Leicester Piggott.
And Leicester Piggott, of course, rode Julie's first ever winner as a trainer, Golden Heights at Newmarket. Ridden number 4 since, and dare say be riding plenty more. Our horse is in great form, and 50 minutes with the Channel 4 team on Saturday morning. Done Leicester no harm. In fact, he's probably just brought to his mind that he doesn't want to join the TV team. He's got back riding winners again.
Here's the starting page.
First, number 7, DRAMANIGE, 11-4 favourite. Second, number 10, Gone Troppo, 8-1. And third, number 6, Darecliff, 10-1, 18 rounds. And at Ludlow, the 335, won by number 2, Pro Plus, 5-1. Second, number 1, Co, 3-1. And third, number 4, Cernovi, 16-1. Number 3, Trochenko, is the 5-4 on favourite, and 6 rounds. And at Toaster, the 335 went to number 8, General Merchant, 6-1. Second, number 1, Boston Rover, 4-1. Third, number 3, Knight Spur, the 3-1 favourite, and 10 rounds.
Just writing it down here, 539-1 treble for Lester Piggott. Let's pay homage to him. You see what happens when they appear on the morning line? Come out and ride 3 winners the following day. Fantastic. Let's see if you won £100 on Dial Your Duo. If you got 2 out of these 3, Pay Homage, Island Magic and Dawning Street, you're in with a chance. Let's see if you're one of the 3 names. Anne Hawker certainly is, from Quedgley. Isn't that a lovely place? Quedgley, down in Gloucester. Mr. Belsom from Sheeplands, another nice village in Bedford. And Mr. James from Pendlebury, up there in Manchester. There'll be celebrations up there tonight. I hope you're a United supporter. Now, tomorrow we're going to be bringing you live coverage all 3 days of the Chester meeting. Let's check out the runners and riders for the Chester Vase. Number 1 is the Andy Post favourite. He was the winter favourite for the Derby. Seasonal debut tomorrow. Armiger, Pat Edery. 2, Cairo Prince John Reed. 3 is Frescard in the generous colours, Alan Munro. Number 4, Majority. 3rd in the classic trial at Sandown, Michael Roberts. 5, Persian Brave, winner first time out at Haydock, Michael Hills. And number 6, the Big Hope of Ireland, Michael Court. Send over Shrewd Idea, the Mount of George Duffield.
And I think one of the greatest races of the year for spectators and for everybody to watch is the Chester Cup. The Ladbroke Chester Cup, 2¼ miles round Chester. They seem to go round and round in circles all the time. Magnificent spectacle it is, and it always produces wide open betting. One race the Jockey Club have not messed around with, and you'll see what a great sight it will be at Chester on Wednesday. Well, the betting makes dime bag. That's the 6-1 favourite, with 7-1 Robingo, and they then go 10-1 Bar the 2, and that brings in Bardol for 10-1, along with Hebridean and Snowboard. But Native Mission has now come into 9-1 Native Mission. William Hill have just laid a £2,000 bet at 11-1 against Native Mission, at 22,000-2. 12-1 against Michelozzo, the Olsen Ledger winner. Good Hand 12, Jack Button 12, and look at that Snowboard 10-1, owned by Jim McGrath, the Greenwich jockey. And remember, the Chester Cup is started with a flag start. There'll be no false starts, I trust.
News from elsewhere. Richard Dunwoody. Hang on. The tears are ringing out for Leicester. He's getting a magnum of champagne. There he goes behind me. You can just see him. He's had a great day. And they love him. Bank holiday. Let me just say, Richard Dunwoody had 2 winners up at Haydock today, thinking twice in Elite Reg, but then bang, had a crashing fall. But on Heathfield Gate, but he's okay, no problems, although he might be a bit sore. Incidentally, course records for the order of the day. Spinning won the big hurdle up there, the Swinton Hurdle. At Southall today, Sullock trying for his 19th course win. He was beaten by Baby Ashley, who pulled off a double for Lorcan Wire, who'd earlier won on Pink Gin. And at Exeter this afternoon, after saddling on the Source to win, Martin Pipe still tight-lipped about who is going to take over from Peter Scudamore as his new stable jockey. Now, tomorrow, we've got 4 races live from one of my favourite meetings. The Crabwall Manor Hotel Maiden Stakes is the first race, then the Dalham Chester Vase, then 2 good races, a Tote Credit, mighty competitive handicap, and we finish with the Great Cheshire Stakes at 4:10. Where we're on the flight path today for Heathrow. We're not flying, we're driving up to Chester. But let's leave you with a guy who's had a fantastic bank holiday Monday, Lester Piggott, just confirming that 539-1 treble. Let's pay homage to the greatest. Bye-bye.
The white cap of Dawning Street is coming with a challenge. Then behind these, Miss Haggard with a big run. Chatham Island, Wilsonic, Neptune Pet starts to pick up. It's going to be a blanket finish here. Tapis Rouge, Pay Homage and Leicester coming with a run. Red Cap Highland Magic is coming there too. And on the outside, it's going to be Highland Magic with Leicester and Pay Homage near. Pay Homage is the winner, Highland Magic second.
The Channel 4 Racing Companion 1993, edited by Sean McGee, is now available from most bookshops. Price $9.99.
Tomorrow at 8:30, a young mother from Manchester takes a maiden voyage to the Australian outback and discovers life on the open road. And at night,